Rise and grind, gamers. My name is Tetsyumi, and welcome back to episode 36 of our Terraria Infernum rogue-only playthrough. And I'm going to say this right now. This is absolutely going to be an interesting episode. I mean, of course, it's a Tetsyumi video. Every Tetsyumi video is interesting and hype and cool. However, we're not planning on doing a boss in this episode in the traditional sense. We're going to give Yahron a few attempts at the end of this episode. Granted, we have time, which we should have time. I'll probably do that, like, regardless. However, our plan is not to take down Yahron in this episode, because in the last episode, what we did, if you guys didn't watch it, go ahead and go watch that first. We took down a very, very scary boss, a boss that I was terrified of for the entire beginning of the playthrough, which is the Devourer of Gods. We did manage to take him down, and because we took him down, we have access not only to these Cosmolite bars, but to all three of the main events. The solar eclipse, the pumpkin moon, and the frost moon now have new drops, and using those drops and also these Cosmolite bars, we can craft a whole bunch of new stuff. So gamers, today our main goal is to blow up and power up a whole hell of a lot, because like we can craft, I mean, like a lot of items. You guys can see all these items we can craft. We have a lot of new items and stuff to craft, a lot of new weapons to craft and test. So that is going to be our main goal. And then at the end of this episode, like I said, we will go ahead and give Yahron a few attempts just to like test out the boss, test out some of our weapons. And I'll go through this pretty quick because I'm not going to like sit here and list off all the things we're going to craft and like talk about them, because we'll do that when we actually do end up crafting them. So the three main things we're going to do in this episode is we are going to fight ourselves the solar eclipse, because again, now that we defeated the Devourer of Gods, we have access to these dark sun fragments from the solar eclipse event. Similarly, we're going to go ahead and fight the pumpkin moon and the frost moon, because we get from the frost moon endothermic energy, and from the pumpkin moon nightmare fuel, and like these new crafting materials go into making like a ton of these weapons. And on our second side over here is just a continuation of all the rest of the stuff that we can craft, because it's a lot of stuff to craft. I mean, like, this is 5 new crafting materials technically that we have access to, because it's the Cosmolite bars here, it's all 3 of these like dark sun fragments, endothermic energy, nightmare fuel, and then those also combine themselves into the ascendant spirit essence, which again can go into making some cool stuff, which like I haven't even fully looked at. So with that being said, we are going to get straight into it, starting off with some of those events. However, before we do that, a commenter did let me know there's a cool kind of, I don't know if it's bug, I guess exploit is like kind of how you say it, but like it's not really an exploit either. But basically, because we just defeated the Devourer of Gods, right, in the treasure bags we get all these Cosmolite bars. As you guys can see, these Cosmolite bars sell for 289 platinum. So it's a lot, and we can buy the Devourer of Gods treasure bags for only 35 platinum. So what we can do is we can sell all of the Cosmolite bars and then buy like a ton of treasure bags. And look at that. Now we're back up to like 9,999 Cosmolite bars. And again, we can just keep selling that and like getting infinite platinum. So it's kind of like an infinite money generation thing. I thought that was cool enough to mention, because like, yeah, now we just have infinite money for the rest of this playthrough. Even though the daytime is almost over, let's go ahead and get things started here with the solar eclipse event. And yet already we're getting some dark sun fragments. You know what? Let's grab ourselves a Zerg potion, which I think I have a few of. Yeah, I got 10 of these things. And I mean, like, we're not gonna die. Let's just do this. I mean, we're gonna get like a ton of these dark sun fragments. I'm not worried about it. I think we're probably good. We can go ahead and cancel the event now. I see so many dark sun fragments around here. Yeah, we already got 118. So if we grab ourselves a suck potion, how many did we actually get? Let's see. 190. You know what? That's good. I'm pretty sure. I think that's good. I don't really know. Either way, that is good, because now that we actually got some dark sun fragments, they're going to show up in this shop. And as you guys know, we have a stupid amount of platinum now. So like we can just buy as much as we need. Now into the pumpkin moon, we're going to do pretty much exactly the same thing. Oh my God, look at all those enemies go flying. Okay, you know what? There were actually so many enemies. My weapons straight up, they couldn't keep up. Like, look, this is actually crazy. My Zerg potion's not even here anymore since I died, and it's still crazy. And lastly, we got ourselves the frost moon. Again, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to be killing a bunch of enemies. I did forget to put on a Zerg potion, though. Let me go do that. We are back. I got myself all of the crafting materials I believe that we need. And you guys can see over here to the right. This is everything we are going to craft right now. Barring one single item, this thing, the Nano Black Reaper, we actually can't craft right now. I didn't realize this, but we need Shadow Spec bars. To get Shadow Spec bars, you need, like, the Auric bars, which we get from fighting Yahron. So, like, we can't make this yet. This is the only thing we can't make. But everything else here, everything on our episode to-do list is all things we can make. So we are going to get straight into it right now. Okay, so I actually forgot. There is one more thing we need. We need to grab ourselves a Dragon Egg from the Old One's Army event to craft this thing, the Gaze of Chrysanthemum. I don't know what this does. I think it might be some kind of wings. All it says is it summons a shadow dragon and you can hold W to ascend faster. So like, it sounds cool. So I wanted to craft it. But yeah, obviously we have not taken down the Old One's army yet in this playthrough. So we're just going to go ahead and speed run through this. It should be very, very easy. And here we go. It should be Betsy time, which means I think if we kill Betsy, we probably get the dragon egg, right? I don't think it's a guaranteed drop, but like Betsy is the one who I believe drops the egg. All right, and Betsy has been taken out, so if we open up the treasure bag, oh man, we didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. We got a Betsy egg, which is not the same one. It's because I forgot. I'm dumb. You actually don't get the egg from Betsy. You get it from the Dark Mages, so we can go ahead and just summon a bunch of these Dark Mages here, and probably one of them is going to drop the egg, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. We got one. Anyway, now we can get started. So what we're going to do is I'm going to craft all the accessories and stuff right now, and we'll explain them. But for the weapons, we're actually going to wait until we fully craft the weapon and are going to test them to like read out what they do and everything like that. So first off, we got ourselves the Eclipse Mirror. This is one of those like top tier goated accessories in the Rogue class. Gives you plus 10 stealth, 6% increased rogue damage and rogue crit chance, vastly reduces enemy aggression, which doesn't really matter this late into the game, but it's still cool. Stealth regenerates 25% faster while standing still. Mobile stealth regeneration accelerates while not attacking. Stealth strikes only expend 50% of your maximum stealth. Grants the ability to evade attacks in a blast of dark sunlight, which inflicts extreme damage in a wide area. Attacks that deal less than 5% of your maximum life in damage will not be evaded. The evade has a cooldown that ranges between 50 and 90 seconds depending on the evaded attack's damage. Evading an attack grants a lot of stealth, and this cooldown is shared with other dodges and reflects. So basically, this is kind of just combining like some of our other stealth accessories. Like it's combining the Dark Sheath, and also it would be combining like the Abyssal Mirror, which we haven't even crafted yet. But this also then gives us that really cool evade ability that gives like a blast of dark sunlight, and that apparently is really, really good. So I'm very excited to craft this thing. So all we need to do to craft this thing is I think we need to make ourselves the Abyssal Mirror here, and then we just gotta throw in our Dark Sun Sheath thing, and realized I didn't actually craft the Abyssal Mirror. And then all we gotta do again is throw in these Dark Sun fragments, and we'll actually just throw in all of these fragments. And I forgot we need to make ourselves a Cosmic Anvil. That's okay, we can make that really easily. I forgot that like for all of this, we just need to make ourselves a Cosmic Anvil. So I gotta craft more Galactic Singularities. And there we go. Okay, now we actually have a Cosmic Anvil, and now we can craft ourselves the Eclipse Mirror and also like everything else that we want to craft. For our next item, our first weapon that we are crafting today, we got ourselves the Eclipse's Fall, which I'm really excited to craft because this is actually an upgrade to our Night's Gaze here, which if you guys don't remember, this Night's Gaze was also an upgrade to the Profaned Partisan, which was a really, really good weapon. And this was also a pretty good weapon too. This would help me a little bit for like the old Duke fight. It kind of fell off a little bit in terms of like usefulness as a weapon, as like an upgrade, because like the whole set bonus with this thing is like we would throw it, and then as it was traveling it would summon like homing stars. But the thing is, the homing stars did way more damage than like the direct attack, so you would try and like actually not hit the boss with the direct attack and just like throw it so the homing stars can hit it. So hopefully then this upgrade to the weapon will make it a little bit better. But again, we're going to take a look at it later, but there we go, we made it. Next up, we got the Gaze of Chrysanthemum. And while we're here, we might as well finish crafting all the rest of our accessories. So we got ourselves the Sponge. Then if we throw our Elysian Wings in here, we can also craft ourselves the Elysian Tracers. And if we throw in the Elysian Aegis, we can craft ourselves the Asgardian Aegis. And back to the weapons, we can make ourselves the Penumbra, the Hypothermia, the Executioner's Blade, and the God's Paranoia, which sounds awesome. That sounds like a Megadeth song or something. And last but not least is the God Slayer armor. Obviously, we're going with the rogue one. Also, I just realized I forgot to read out what the Sponge does, but the Sponge, you guys probably already know from playing regular Calamity. It's a very good accessory. Projects a quantum foam barrier that absorbs up to 180 damage, halves the adrenaline loss on hit if the barrier fully absorbs the hit. The barrier grants 30 defense and reduces damage taken by 10% while active. The barrier starts recharging after 9 seconds and recharges from 0 to a full charge takes 6 seconds. Being hit again while recharging restarts the charging timer. It's a good accessory, a little bit of defense, we'll take it. You guys might have noticed that I also did not craft myself the Absorber, which is another very, very good common Calamity accessory. I just don't think it's going to be like super useful. It's another very good like defensive accessory, but realistically, I don't even really want that many defensive accessories in this playthrough. I want to like actually fight the bosses. If I get hit and lose, I get hit and lose. You know what? This playthrough is about getting good at Infernum. So like, listen, if I just take a bunch of hits and don't die, is that really getting good? Nah, I don't think so. So I'm not going to craft the absorber, and we're pretty much just going to stick with like as minimal defensive accessories as we can. All right, gamers, let's get into taking a look at all of our cool new stuff. So first off, let's actually go ahead and put on the armor. We're going from 145 defense right now to 128 defense. I swear, for the past like 2 armor sets, we've been losing defense, but I mean, maybe this has a really cool set bonus. Let's see. The set bonus is 120 maximum stealth. While at full HP, all of your rogue stats are boosted by 10%. That's pretty good. If you take over 80 damage in one hit, you'll be given extra immunity frames. Allows you to dash for an immense distance in 8 directions. That's pretty cool, but probably useless because I'll be putting on the Asgardian Aegis anyway, so that's already going to be a dash. Oh, I see. It's different because this dash is actually tied to a keybind, so I can press a keybind while holding down the movement keys in the direction I want to dash, and then enemies I dash through take massive damage, and during the dash, I'm immune to most debuffs. Okay, it doesn't say I'm immune to damage. It says I'm immune to debuffs. I hope that's going to be I'm immune to damage during the dash. That would be... it would kind of suck to dash through something and then still take the damage. But you know what? That's pretty cool. The dash is definitely useful. Honestly, I think the set bonus of like our Blood Flare armor is probably a little bit better. The set bonus of this is like every critical strike, I basically like heal myself, which I think is honestly... I mean, I want to say better, but like, I don't know. This is cool. Bored, boring, don't care. But I do actually want to check out the dash. I just equipped the keybind. Is this dash cool? Whoa! Okay, you know what? The dash is pretty cool. That was sick. I'm not gonna lie, that was sick. And I did put on all the rest of my accessories too. So the final thing I wanted to test out was this thing. It's an equipment. So if I put it, it's a mount. That makes sense. You know what? That makes sense. It's a mount. So what it says is it's just summons a shadow dragon. Hold W to ascend faster. So like, oh shit, yo, that looks dope as fuck. Yeah, I do ascend pretty fast. So is this infinite? It's not infinite flight, but it has pretty good flight time. Dude, this thing is really cool. I don't think it's better probably than like my regular wings, right? Or like any of my dashes. Like, goddamn, dude, that Godslayer dash is actually sick as fuck. It's probably not better, but like, dude, this is really cool. Yeah, hell yeah, we'll take this. Probably not gonna keep it on because like, I feel like, you know, it's cool. Obviously, it looks cool. It's fun to move around in. But, like, I feel like for a mount, I kind of want stability like this. Like, that's the whole reason I put on this mount in the first place. For one, it's infinite flight. And two, it lets me, like, hover in midair and not have to move. Because, like, I can... If I want to fly, right, I can just use my wings. Like, I have wings. I don't need to use this mount to fly. Let's get into the actual cool stuff now. Let's test out some of these weapons immediately. I have them lined up here, so let's just go in order, right? First off, we got the flawless Penumbra. Throws a shadow bomb that explodes into homing souls and flames. Stealth Strikes makes the bomb manifest on the cursor and explode into more souls. All right, whatever that is, that sounds cool. So this Stealth Strike is gonna make it manifest on the cursor, right? So what does that look like? Oh, cool. Oh, very cool. This reminds me a lot of that, this weapon, the Star of Destruction. Like, the explosion of this weapon reminds me of the explosion of the Star of Destruction. But, like, holy shit, dude, that was... Okay. So then, like, it just will explode, right? I'm guessing the actual attack would do damage, right? If I summon it right on this super dummy. Okay, it just explodes immediately if that happens. Yeah, very cool. It looks like the homing does not track if it explodes directly on an enemy, which does kind of suck, but if I explode it like a little bit off of the enemy, then yes, a decent amount of shots home in. I'm sure like if it's a bigger enemy, more shots would home in and stuff, but yeah, dude, that's pretty cool. What about like the regular attack of this weapon? The regular attack, low-key, seems almost better. Next up is the Hypothermia. 1000 rogue damage, throws a constant barrage of black ice shards. Stealth Strikes hurl a set of razor-sharp ice chunks that shatter on impact. So this seems, again, like it'd be maybe a better, like, spam strike weapon, but the Stealth Strike aspect, like, throwing a hurl of razor-sharp ice chunks, that sounds like it could be good. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh, shit. Oh, that was sick. What the fuck? Oh, my God. So then it throws the actual weapon, right? And then these are the ice chunks that, like, trail after, or, like, the ice razor whatever things. Wow, what the fuck? Do they bounce off tiles? Oh, they do. Oh, they bounce off tiles. That's really cool. Obviously, it doesn't look like they home in or anything like that. Very cool. Okay, then what about like the spam strike? I see. This is the spam strike. So what comes first is actually like the set bonus from the stealth strike. But I feel like, again, it's probably kind of hard to see. I might need to test it against a boss or something. It looks like it's doing really good damage right now, but that also might be because I'm just like hitting normal enemies. But I mean, this does seemingly a shitload of damage, so like that's really cool. The only problem is probably just like the spread of the weapon, because like it's not super accurate further away. But like against Yahron or something, Yahron's a big boss and he dashes into you a lot. I can probably hit him a lot and deal good damage. Next up, we got God's Paranoia. Hurls up to 10 speedy homing spiky balls. I love that homing. Attaches to enemies and summons a localized storm of Godslayer kunai. What? Stealth strikes homing faster and summon kunai at a faster rate. Wow. Like, it's the kind of similar to like any of my other sentries. Like 10 of them can exist at a time. And it's gonna stick to enemies and summon raining kunai. That sounds fucking awesome. Okay, let's try one. That is sick. I wonder how long it lasts. Also, oh, wow. Okay, it does not last long at all. That's not bad, though. Honestly, I'm fine with it not lasting long because, like, that means this is an actual weapon, right? And not like a sentry. Like, with something like the Hell's Sun, right? This is definitely more of a sentry. Like, you put it down once in the arena, and then it kind of goes off for, like, a minute or, like, 2 minutes or something. And then, like, you honestly just forget about it. I like this better because I can actually treat this more like an actual weapon instead of, like, the Hell's Sun, like a sentry. That's really cool, though. Again, it's missing the super dummy a lot because, like, of the hitbox of the super dummy. If this was a bigger enemy, I'm sure it would hit a lot more, obviously. I like this thing a lot. This is sick. 2 weapons left. We got the Executioner's Blade. Throws a stream of homing blades. Stealth Strike shows a guillotine of blades on hit. Sounds really cool. I kind of feel like it might just be like a better version of the Ghoulish Gouger, low-key. But like, dude, let's fucking try it. Okay, so first off, homing, right? Let's see how good the homing is. Whoa! Oh, that was sick! And that's the fucking guillotine. That's a big range for the guillotine, actually. Wow. Yeah, that's like a lot of my screen. That's really cool. The homing also seems good. I wonder how long the projectile lasts. The homing isn't incredible, but it's good enough to like pick itself up from like a complete miss, like shooting down at the ground. So like, dude, this thing is sick. This thing is actually really sick. Again, I'm sure the damage will go up against a larger boss because more of the like guillotine hits will actually hit it, but very cool. And finally, we have the weapon I have been waiting for, the Eclipse's Fall. Again, the upgrade to those 2 previous weapons that were really good for us. This one summons a spear from the sky on hit. Stealth strikes impale enemies and summon a constant barrage of spears over time. Sounds very cool. So hopefully this will kind of fix the effect of the predecessor of this weapon, the Knight's Gaze. Because the problem with the Knight's Gaze, again, is that like you couldn't really hit an enemy directly because like the stars from the trail did more damage than the actual weapon. So you would try and not hit the enemy with the actual weapon. So I'm guessing like the previous 2 versions of this, it probably doesn't home in. Let's see. It does not home in, but it doesn't look like there's any weapon drop off, which is good. So, you know, we love to see that. We're totally fine with that. First off, let's just hit it with the normal attack. Like, what is the normal attack? Oh, shit. Oh my god, the normal attack is sick. What the fuck? Actually, hold on. That was a flawed test. I didn't realize that somewhere in between those normal attacks, I was actually hitting it with the stealth strike effect. So this is just the normal attack. Like, it still summons spears from the sky. It's really cool. Then the stealth strike, what it'll do is the spear will impale in the enemy and then constantly rain down these additional spears. That seems really good. I'm guessing I can have... Oh, I can't. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm guessing I can have more than one at a time, but it looks like I can't. It's just the single one. But, like, obviously, I'm still doing more damage by actually, like, throwing the weapon more times. This is really cool. Yeah, you know what? This is a really cool weapon. I like this a lot. So, gamers, with that being done, we have tested out each of these brand new weapons. And there's only one thing left to do, right? We have to actually apply these weapons in a brand new scenario. Obviously, taking a look at Yahron, the 3rd to last boss in the game. So, like I said in the beginning, we're not going for the kill right now. Like, obviously, we don't have the time in the episode to go for the kill. I just want to test out some of these weapons, right? See which ones might or might not be good. It would be cool if maybe we can, like, learn a phase of Yahron or 2, something like that. But I'm not committing to actually, like, beating Yahron right now. That would be crazy. Am I a little scared? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, for sure. So the thing I remember about Yahron is it kind of makes its own little arena for you. Like, it boxes you in with 2 giant pillars of flame. I imagine it's probably gonna do something similar in Inferno mode, and it's just like a giant dragon. Its main attack in regular Calamity was like it would kind of swoop in on you and it would shoot fireballs and stuff like that, and like it would summon giant tornadoes of fire. It's not a too terribly difficult fight in vanilla Calamity. I have no idea what they're gonna do in Infernum, so I suppose what we'll do for now is we'll kind of just go down the line, right? First I want to test out the Penumbra, then we'll test out like the hypothermia, do all that stuff. So I guess, gamers, without further ado, Let's fucking spawn in Yahron. Okay, okay. Very cool intro already. We like that. Oh shit, it's already dashing at me. Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Hold the fuck on. I completely forgot. I do not have my my dash equipped. Let me go ahead and do that. There we go. Now I can dash. Okay. Okay, so far, honestly, this is like extremely similar to just the regular Yahron fight. I'm gonna be honest. All right, cool. Yep, I died. So I did also remember the main thing about the Yahron attack, like the Yahron fight, is that whenever it would dash, it would like do a noise cue. It would do like a scream sound effect. I was yapping over it, obviously, so I couldn't really hear it too well. But let me summon this guy in again. Hold on. I did notice it did summon like walls and an actual arena. Can I see that on the map? I cannot, it looks like. But there, oh, you know what? Actually, maybe not. I was gonna say, because I know there's fire on the bottom of my screen, but like, I guess that fire is just cool looking fire. So maybe there is no arena for this fight then. Free roam? Oh, nope, there we go. Okay, yeah, there it is. This is the pillar of flame that's supposed to like mark the arena. Okay. In that case, the arena I think is just pretty big then, I guess, right? Yeah, you know what? The arena is just pretty big, which like we'll take for sure. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. Fair enough, Yahron. Fair enough. I'm not gonna like lock in and turn off my music or sound or anything like that so I can like listen to the roars and do all that bullshit. Instead, we're just gonna like try and focus on the damage, right? Because like I kind of understand this boss's patterns, right? It's gonna dash at me a whole bunch. So let's see. Is this gonna do good damage? The problem with this boss, I feel like, actually the problem with this weapon is that like for a lot of this boss, he's kind of super far off screen. And again, the homing on this weapon is not incredible. So I feel like we might need to be a little bit closer to use this one. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll try this one again later. Let's for now move on to the hypothermia. Having the mini-map overlay would probably help a lot so I can actually see where Yahron is. So yeah, let me do that for sure. You know what? This one's, I feel like, not doing great damage either. I think it is the problem where, like, Yahron's getting too far away and then the shots are spreading out too much. We'll try it again. Okay. I mean, that was bad. I just ran into a flame tornado. But yeah, I mean, that one, it feels like it's not probably the best weapon. A weapon with homing, though, like the God's Paranoia, you know what? I didn't realize how slow it travels. It is a very slow weapon, but I feel like this will be a better weapon for me, right? Already, I feel like it's doing a little bit more damage than my other ones have been. Damn, I don't know what to do. I can't, like, I feel like these weapons aren't doing great. I mean, granted, obviously, I don't know the pattern of this boss. What if I use like the Shattered Sun? Like, let's compare it to the Shattered Sun. Like, this has a really good homing. Is the Shattered Sun going to be doing more damage? Maybe this boss just has like stupid high defense. I don't know. There was like a few hits at the beginning of the fight where I was doing a lot of damage. I think maybe this boss does just have crazy high defense. I wasn't looking at like the actual boss health bar down here. I was mainly looking at our damage up here. That's very interesting though. I mean, shit, I guess in that case, we'll just continue testing out the rest of these weapons, right? Maybe I'll try and actually look at the real health bar of the boss instead of just my damage count. We can see if we're actually like doing better or worse than the last time. Okay. Okay. That was a bad attempt. It looked like we were doing some pretty good damage to the actual health bar. This weapon, I don't feel like has quite the homing in order to deal with this boss. Like, I'll try and show you, but like this weapon has good homing, right? But when Yahron is dashing all crazy, like I feel like it just can't keep up. You know what? This weapon actually seems to be doing pretty damn good. It is a little bit like, I kind of have to kite him into going side to side instead of like up and down, because if I go up and down, then the homing doesn't really work. But if I get a head-on attack like that, you see I'm doing like 20,000 damage. This weapon seems like it could be really good. And for our final new weapon, we can test out the Eclipse's Fall. I don't know how this one's going to perform, actually. it seems like it's doing pretty good. Well, it looks like the spears from the sky are kind of having trouble hitting Yahron because he's so fast. I can't really tell. You know what? I can't tell. I can try to do a similar thing to last time where, like, I really try and go, like, side to side and cut him into, like, going left and right. But, like, shit. It seemed like to be doing a little bit less damage. So maybe for now, our weapon choice is going to be the Executioner's Blade. However, I'm probably still going to test out all the rest of these weapons a little bit more, probably in the next episode. I was going to say off camera, but not off camera, because, like, I want all of my attempts with these bosses to be on camera. So I'll probably test out a little bit more in the next episode. But gamers, with that being said, that is where we're going to go ahead and end off the episode today. What I'm going to say right now is the first phase of Yahron does not seem very hard. Like, I'll actually try, you know what? We'll do one lock-in attempt on the first phase right now. One lock-in attempt to end out this episode, and I'm going to try and use probably mainly the Executioner's Blade. Let's see. All right, you know, I'm gonna be honest, for a lock-in attempt, that was pretty shit. But we got him down, like, maybe a fifth, or, like, even a fourth. I didn't really look too hard. Maybe, like, a fifth of his health, which is definitely good for, like, I don't know, my, like, second or third good attempt. So, gamers, with that being said, that is going to be all for this episode today. We have a ton of new weapons and some really good accessories now that we can try out, hopefully for these upcoming bosses. Dude, I didn't actually realize, holy shit, hold on. Look how fast I'm running now. Oh my god, my running speed with these, like, Elysian tracers. God damn, it's so good. But gamers, hype the video down below if you have the option. And otherwise, just go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, do all the normal YouTube stuff. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video where we will be taking down Yahron in Infernum mode. So gamers, stick around. Like I said, that's going to be all. Peace.